Good afternoon. Today is the 15th of October 2021. Welcome to the lunchtime news here on TV1 for the Newsfirst team, the voice of the people. I'm Sanita Senanayaka. Before we take a look at the stories for this afternoon in detail, let's take a look at your headlines.
Price of local milk powder increased. Water released for the Maha Cultivating season. 100 containers with rice unsuitable for consumption detected. Inoculation of school students begin.
In your top local story this afternoon, the price of Highland milk powder has been increased.
Milko chairman Lasantha Wickramasinghe said a kilogram of Highland milk powder has been increased by 225 rupees. The new price is 1,170 rupees. The price of a 400-gram packet of Highland milk powder has been increased by 90 rupees. The new price is 470 rupees.
The Samagi Jana Balawegaya staged a protest in Casbah against the rising cost of living.
The protest was held near the clock tower in Casbah.
ගෙදර අපිට කන්න විදියක් නැහැ ගෑස් මිල ඉහළට ගිහිල්ලා කඩේකට ගිහිල්ලා පිටි පැකට් එකක් ගන්න විදියක් නැහැ එක කඩේකවත් පිටි පැකට් එක ගන්න අපිට කියන්නේ අපිට සහනය දීලා මේ පොඩ්ඩක් මේ දුප්පත් මිනිස්සු ගැන මේ ආණ්ඩුවෙන් හිතන්න කියලා. අපි බලාපොරොත්තු උනේ රජයකින් මේ වගේ දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. නමුත් හැමදේම ගන්න කියන්නේ කිසිම දෙයක් නැහැ. හැමදේම ටිකින් ටික ඉහළ ගිහින් තියෙනවා. අපේ ජීවිතය බොහොම අඩාඳුරේ අද මේ වෙනකොට තියෙන්නේ.
Samagi Jana Balawegaya leader Sajith Premadasa visited the site of the protest. They are increasing the prices. What are they doing with the funds allocated from the increase in prices? They are giving 100 and 200 million rupees to politicians under the guise of development. Development must take place. However, there must be a country left for development. There must be people left for it. The government can't leave the people starving. The so-called financial experts in the government have been unable to provide concessions to the public. After getting the people's mandate, the rulers are living in luxury. The people are in despair. The government is pressurizing and torturing the public. The leader of the country must suffer and work tirelessly for the people. But today, it is the people who are suffering.
Taking a look at another headline-making story, it was revealed that 100 containers with rice unsuitable for consumption has been detected at the Colombo port.
A senior officer attached to the Ministry of Health said 40 of those containers have been inspected by the Food Control Unit of the Ministry of Health. Following the inspection, it was confirmed that the stock of rice was unsuitable for human consumption. Insects in another 9 containers were removed from the rice stock at a warehouse in Wattala after clearing them from the Colombo port. The senior official at the Ministry of Health further noted the stock was imported from Pakistan in 2019.
The Janata Vimukti Peramuna has revealed details of a company that has purchased shares of the Kerawalapitiya power plant. The company that was chosen by the government without calling for tenders to supply LNG to the Kerawalapitiya power plant is not among the first 250 companies in the world that supplies LNG. In 2018, this company implemented a similar project in Puerto Rico, but that country is in turmoil because of malpractices. A case has been filed against this company. By March 2021, the company had a debt of $1.2 billion. Based on the agreement, they are not only supplying LNG for Kerawalapitiya power plant, but to the Kalanithissa power plant and any LNG power plant constructed around the Kerawalapitiya power plant and the LNG power plant which is to be constructed in Muthurajawala. When they are made suppliers of LNG to all power plants, we will face a loss of $1.5 billion. That is based on the review carried out by engineers. When the United States becomes a monopoly to supply power to Sri Lanka, they can decide whether to supply electricity or not and control this country. The United States will now have the chance to anchor their vessel in our ports permanently.
මේ සියල්ලට අමතරව ඇමරිකා එක්සත් ජනපදයේ මෙහර අවස්ථාවක් ලැබෙනවා. තමන්ගේම වන නෞකාවක් අපේ කොළඹ වරාය ආසන්නයේ අපේ බටහිර වෙරළේ ස්ථාවරව නතර කරලා තියන්නත් මේ හරහා අවස්ථාව ලැබෙනවා.
The final phase of the Mitra Shakti joint military exercise between India and Sri Lanka began today. The event was at the Army Training Centre in Madurai. India's Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Naravane and Sri Lanka's Army Commander General Shavendra Silva were present at the event.
The Sri Lanka Army has a lot of experience dealing with ground situations. India is our neighbouring country. It has an army with more than 1.2 million officers. This will boost our cooperation with them. We will also be able to improve ties between the two countries.
Mitra Shakti, as the name suggests, is strength through friendship. Over the last 2 weeks or so, the contingents from the Sri Lankan army and the Indian army have been working very closely with each other, and I'm sure that as a result of this, the interoperability between our two armies would have increased manyfold. And I'm also quite confident that our contingent, which was here, will carry happy memories of their stay and their interaction with the Sri Lankan army. And I'm hopeful that as we go ahead, we will continue to have many more such engagements, increasing in the scope and intensity as time progresses, from a company level exercise, which is single service, graduating to joint and tri-service exercises also. And that is the future that I see ahead for close relations between the armed forces of both the countries.
The ceremony to release water for the Maha Cultivating season commenced in Ampara today. The traditional ceremony to mark the release of water to paddy fields for the Maha Cultivating season took place at the Senanayaka Samudra in Ampara with the participation of the Maha Sangha. Following a religious ceremony and a plea to the gods, farmers paid respects to the late D.S. Senanayaka statue. A religious plea requesting the issues farmers face be resolved was also carried out.
මේ දරපු උත්සාහයේ ප්‍රතිඵල සම්පූර්ණයෙන් විනාශ කරලා දාන්න උත්සාහ කරන මේ කාල කන්නි පාලක හැත්තට විනාශ වදින්න ඕන කියලා ඔබතුමා ඉදිරියේ අද අපි මේ පොල් ගහලා සාපත කර සිටිනවා.
Protests demanding chemical fertilizer over organic fertilizer organized by farmers were held across the country today as well. A demonstration was held at the paddy fields of Dehigalanda, Ambalantota this morning. Another demonstration was held at the Gamanupura field in Mahiyangane. The protest was organized by the Samagi Janabala Vegaya.
කාබනික ගොවිතැන මේ විදිහට කරන්න බෑ.
Organic farming cannot be carried out like this. It must be done gradually. I would like to challenge the President and the Minister of Agriculture to do at least 1%. Please give our farmers and cultivators quality fertilizer. Give the fertilizer of proper standards to avoid a famine. Do not give them fertilizer of low standards that were brought in during 2013 to 2014 that prompted kidney disease related issues. Please give them fertilizer that is of proper standards. Admit that you have failed and give fertilizer to the farming community. If they don't do this, apart from the famine that could emerge, riots could also take place. Taking a look at some COVID-19 related news, authorities began offering COVID-19 vaccines for school children today. The process began in the Colombo district. News First, Shahzan Hazazuli reports.
Authorities have begun administering COVID-19 vaccines for school children, and as the first phase of that exercise, we are seeing that authorities are rolling out vaccination plans in the Colombo district. There are 4 schools in which vaccines are being administered in the Colombo district at present. What we have learned from officials is that they expect around 45,000 students in the Colombo district to receive the vaccine. It must be noted that these vaccines are only being administered to students who attempted the GCE advanced level examination last year, and for students who will be administering the GCE advanced level examination this year. We are right now at a vaccination center that is at Visakha Vidyalaya. We were speaking to some officials a few minutes ago. They have told us that they expect to vaccinate around 800 children today alone, and it's about 5 minutes past 11 at this time when we're filing this report, and we have learned that more than 300 children have already obtained their vaccines. We can see that parents are queued up outside the streets as well, showing a lot of enthusiasm. The place around here is filled with children, showing how much they are interested in obtaining the vaccine. We can see students are lining up over there. They produce their national identity card to obtain the vaccination card and then head over to this location where they are given the vaccine. It is the Pfizer vaccine that is being administered at these schools, and officials say they hope to administer the vaccines in the Colombo district for about 18 days. I'm Hassan Shazuli reporting for News First.
Thank you, Hassan, for that comprehensive report. Moving on, the appeal court has instructed to issue notices on the Attorney General and the former Navy Commander Wasantha Karanagoda. This would be to appear in court on the 29th of this month.
The appeal court issued the order as it took up a writ petition filed by families of 4 disappeared people. Yesterday, the Attorney General informed the Colombo Permanent High Court Trial at Bar that it would drop charges against the suspects over the abduction and enforced disappearance of 11 youths between 2008 and 2009. The families of 4 disappeared youth had then filed a motion at the appeal court. The motion requested court to cancel the Attorney General's decision. It is to be taken up on the 29th of this month.
In our Crime Watch segment, we focus on the death of a man in Veeravilavava.
Crime Watch.
A 45-year-old man was found dead in the Veeravilavava. He was a resident of Mirissa. A post-mortem examination was conducted today. Did the man fall into the Vava? Who is this person? Is this a homicide? It was reported that the man had been consuming alcohol with 6 friends a few days ago. The Veeravilavava police is conducting investigations.
Crime Watch.
Taking a look back at some news from here at home, locals are opposing the construction of a power plant near the Kaludiya pond.
Heel Oya was declared as a tourism village in Sri Lanka in 2015. The people there are mostly paddy farmers. They obtain water from the Heel Oya for cultivation. The locals are now opposing plans to build a power plant in the area. They say the power plant is to be built near the Kaludiya pond. The Heel Oya mainly receives water from the Kaludiya pond. We understand that they are trying to construct a hydropower plant across this. If that happens, the people won't be able to cultivate. They will also have problems of finding water to drink. There are more than 1,000 people in this area who depend on farming. The authorities must think twice before beginning such projects. Locals say the project is causing massive environmental destruction. They say it affects the Kurugohakama, Hakmana, Dorali at the south, Maligawala and Watawala villages which benefit from the heel oya. Environmental groups point out that projects at a World Heritage Site can only take place under the supervision of the World Heritage Committee. As this is a conservation site, this area is rich in biodiversity, but this ecosystem is being destroyed as trees have been burnt. If they build a power plant, the areas downstream will lose access to water. This will be the situation for about 4 or 5 kilometers. It will affect the biodiversity and also the livelihood of the people. How can they carry out projects at World Heritage Sites? News First inquired about this from the Madadumbara Divisional Secretary Mangala Wickramaratchi. He said there is a request to build a mini hydropower plant near the Heel Oya Kaludia Pond under the government's policy.
In more local news, Gammadda launched a project to resolve drinking water issues faced by the people of Tannahena. 50 families who couldn't access clean drinking water for nearly a decade will benefit from this project. Indunath Jayasinghe will provide the main financial support for this project. Sunetra Veerakkodi and Shrimran Ramsey are the contributors for the project. And that's all the news we have for you this afternoon. For the News First team, I've been Sanitha Senanayaka. Take care and stay safe.